What is up, DCS Crew? It's Carlos back at it again today with an interesting design. It's kind of a knife and it's kind of not. Well, let's just go ahead and get with it. This is the Bestech Knives Ostap Hel designed STRELIT. This is a Push Dagger flipper. This is a really cool hawkbill blade, titanium scale with the carbon fiber inlay, nice little pivot collar on both sides there. It does have a pocket clip on the right side for right-hand tip-up carry. As you can see, it's pretty small. I want to say the blade is about a little over 2 inches, and it's actually pretty light. It's under 2 ounces, like 1.8. This is part of the Bestech Bouquet design that Ostap Hel brought to the table, basically taking design cues from different plants in nature, and this is one of them. Let's go ahead and throw that intro on, and then we'll get a little bit more in depth into the STRELIT from Bestech Knives. Welcome back, guys, and thank you for tuning in. On this particular episode, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Bestech STRELIT. Like I said before, it is an Ostap Hel design, and I'm going to go ahead and show it off just like this, just for the moment, so you can go ahead and see it in its actual design element, because this is actually how it was designed. It wasn't designed this way, which, I mean, you would think, your hand is here and then the knife is here, but it's actually was designed by Ostap Hel like this. And the reason why is because it was designed based on a flower. The STRELIT is actually short for the flower's name, which is Strelitzia reginae, and that is actually commonly known as the bird of paradise flower. So basically, the Strelitzia reginae's bloom emerges from a long green sheath called a spathe, and then it points out at a 90-degree angle from the rest of the plant. So it's just like, the blade coming out at a 90-degree angle from the spathe, I guess you could say. So that's the inspiration that Ostap Hel actually took for this. There are a couple of different versions. I do know that this particular one is titanium scales with the carbon fiber inlay. I know that they have bronze stonewashed titanium handles. They have black titanium handles with different carbon fiber inlay. I think it's black and red carbon fiber, black and blue carbon fiber. It could just be plain titanium. But other than Damascus steel, you are going to get M390 steel. Now, for this one, it does have a two-tone setup. So this is a satin blade with a stonewashed flats, and in this particular case, you can see it here. It is nice and subdued here because that is a stonewashed flat, and then you can see it's a little bit shinier because it is satin. So basically, the way that it looks in its closed form, I'm going to just show it like that, is just like this. Okay, it's kind of an odd design, It's very, and I don't want to say odd so much as unique. You can actually see the Bestech logo right there. And then on the other side, you will see that it does say Ostap Hel design. So, it's kind of easy to be able to go ahead and say, yeah, it's an Ostap Hel design. So, the Push Dagger, and I apologize, I wanted to just say knife. It is a knife, but it's more of a Push Dagger. I don't think that there is anything that is out there that is upper tier or as classy looking as this. And keep in mind, this class does come with a price. You're looking at something at about anywhere from like 160 to like 220 bucks for this. In fact, I think this option is like 220 something. So keep that in mind. Titanium pocket clip. You do have the pivot screw right there with a black pivot collar on both sides. Okay, and really, really nice. You do need to use a T8 bit and a T6 bit to go ahead and take this apart. You're going to use the T8 on the pivot collar, and then you're going to use the T6 on the pocket clip, and then on the other side to be able to go ahead and unlock the frame and completely disassemble the knife. Disassembly is actually pretty easy. It's really those 3 screws, and then you're pretty much good to go. Okay. Now, the pocket clip is right-hand tip-up carry only, and the reason being is because it's curved. If you try to go ahead and put it on this side, it's not going to work. It's going to be facing this way. It's just going to be really weird. Now, I'm sure you guys want to go ahead and see what it looks like in the pocket, so let me go ahead and do that here for you. Let me take out ye old trusty pocket from my shorts, and then put this in here so you can go ahead and see that. And as you can see, it actually hides pretty well in the pocket. It's really that big inside the pocket. It's, a pretty small you know, overall dimensions. It is curved, so it is going to feel like it takes a little bit more real estate than your average pocket knife. But as you can see, it actually hides pretty well in the pocket. And then it's made with the flipper that comes out in a way to where right here, you're going to see it actually come out. You can actually do it so that it comes out like an Emerson wave style feature. And I thought that was pretty cool. They did mention that, and that was the first time I actually did it, so I'm actually glad that that worked. It runs off of bearings, and basically, you know, if you had it in the hand and you had to deploy it, you could really just, you know, use the flipper, and then you put your index finger here at the top using this little thumb area here, and then the rest of your hand right here, and you hold it like this when you're gonna go ahead and get down and dirty. Now, I do not recommend getting in knife fights because the loser dies at the scene and the winner dies at the hospital. Let's just face facts. All right, it is what it is. That's a fact of life, and I'm giving that to you for free here on DCS. So keep that in mind. But if you had to use a knife in a fight, a push dagger is a recommendation I would make every day of the week and twice on Sunday over something like a pocket knife, whether it's bigger or not. And the reason being is because when you hold a pocket knife, you hold it like this. Somebody hits you, hurts your hand, you're going to go ahead and wince, or maybe you'll go ahead and let go of your pocket knife and it'll fall. With a push dagger, what you end up doing is, because of the nature of how it's held, you hold it in a fist. So when you're fighting, you're not actually trying to slice, you're trying to punch. You're using the natural mechanics of your body, whether it's the jab, the uppercut, the right hook, you know, whatever you choose, you know, to be able to go ahead and puncture somebody, and with this hawkbill blade. And I mean, you know, this will hurt somebody's feelings, man. Just an FYI. Now, to be able to go ahead and see exactly how big this is, let me just go ahead and I'm gonna put knives that are closed next to it so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the Artisan Cutlery Cazador. This is the Civivi Lumi. Okay, as you can see, it's about as wide as a STRELIT is when deployed. This is the Bevy right here from Concept Knives. In fact, we go and put it this way so you can go ahead and see it. Okay, and let's see here. Here's the Kershaw Shuffle. As you can see, it's a pretty small knife. This is the Kaiser Rogue. And let's see, I have it in my pocket. Ah, yes, Kershaw's bare knuckle in black. Okay, so there you have it, folks. And just wanted to go ahead and give you those dimensions. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, a pretty small footprint when you have it in your hand. It's, you know, it feels very, very well in your hand. For stuff like this, I think it was a bit of overkill, you know, placing it as a frame lock. I think a liner lock would have worked fine, but I think a frame lock works really well in this particular case. And I think that was the design element that he intended, because with a frame lock, you just have this area right here that goes behind your finger. And with a liner lock, that would have been probably like a small gap between, you know, the liner itself, this lock, and then the, you know, the layer of, like, let's say in this case, carbon fiber or whatever, that may have pinched maybe the meat inside of your finger here when you were using it and you're holding it tight. So I can understand the design element on that. And I think that that's a pretty smart design. Now, for the blade steel, you are going to get M390. They say that the hawkbill blade is tempered to about 59 to 61 on the HRC scale. So, you know, take that blade hardness with a grain of salt, if you will. The pocket clip as well as the frame is titanium. And like I said, the designer is Ostap Hel. This is Chinese made by Bestech Knives. And I gotta tell you, like, I've been thinking about it as I've been doing this review. I really can't for the life of me think of a push dagger design that has this much kind of put into it, like a folding push dagger type of design, and just, you know, an upscale design. So I think this really takes the cake when it comes to something like that. Now, is it something that somebody is going to want to EDC? Well, it depends. If you are somebody who, you know, is a real badass and you don't fight with, you know, you don't have a fighting pistol, you know, and if you don't fight with a fixed blade or something like that, or maybe you do have one, or maybe you just want to put something nice to go to church in so you don't have your fixed blade hanging out for everybody to see when you carry it scout carry, this might actually be a pretty cool setup for you. For me, it's going to be a pass for me because I don't know, it's just, it's a little bit too far to a certain part of the extreme for me. I'm not really into this type of thing, but I can see where this market would be, you know, tapped with this particular design. Like I said, I don't think that there's anything even close to this kind of upper tier with, you know, the blade steel, with the, you know, the scale materials, with the different options that you get. And, you know, if you want to go ahead and address the elephant in the room with the price. So that being said, that's my review on this particular push dagger. It's a flipper push dagger called the STRELIT from Ostap Hel, made and manufactured by Bestech Knives out of China. If you want a little bit more information, I'll go ahead and choose a link to post below with this exact configuration, so you can go ahead and see what the specifications are and a little bit of the pricing, you know, and a little bit more information on this particular knife. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and reach out to me personally via my Instagram at Daily Carry Solutions, or just right down here, go ahead and leave a comment and drop me an email at dailycarrysolutions@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to go ahead and answer any questions that you have. Be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't, and slap that like button like your mama taught you right, guys. God, come on. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. In the meantime, go ahead and check out some of these videos. And that is it. Take care, guys. Peace.